Chapter 22 Rise and Shine. On January 1st, 2020, I woke up from a very vivid dream. In it, I was being taught to make bread from scratch. It looked something like when I was in Uganda and the ladies were showing me how to make bread. I remembered laughing because I said, my strategy is always quick and easy, with as few steps as possible. But here I was in my dream being taught to make bread from scratch and feeling pretty good about myself, actually. I had all the ingredients and the determination to try, so I was good to go. However, the next thing I knew, the bread was coming out of the oven, but it was flat. I was so confused. I said, but I had all the ingredients. What went wrong? Why didn't my bread rise? In my dream, there was an older gentleman watching. He came over and said, yes, Vian, you had all the ingredients, but look, you forgot a very key ingredient. You forgot the yeast. My heart sank. Feeling quite embarrassed, actually, I yelled, oh no, how could I forget the yeast? I made sure I had everything I needed. How did I make this mistake? I was trying to rationalize my blunder by emphasizing how nervous I'd been about making bread from scratch. In the excitement of it all, I got sidetracked. But whatever the reason, nothing would change the fact I forgot the yeast. The dream continued as the older gentleman was then compelled to give me some spiritual insight. He said this, Vian, just like yeast is the key ingredient to cause your bread to rise, prayer, he said, is the key ingredient that God uses to help you rise. He said, don't let anything distract you from focusing on the task at hand. Besides, he said, the way you used to do things before, even the former mindset you had, will not be enough when you're creating something from scratch. I understood that dream as God's way of reminding me to be diligent with all the things He has blessed me with. But more importantly, He was providing a word of caution by reminding me to stay focused and not get distracted. Those words about prayer as the priority ingredient lingered as a powerful reminder to keep it as a must-have ingredient today. What a vivid illustration that I can't rise or rise above what I am facing without Him. And He really is calling us all to rise and shine. This message certainly spoke volumes to me at the beginning of 2020. But later, as the unforeseen COVID-19 global events rolled out, this message was now screaming. More than ever, it is important to make prayer our priority. If we don't, we will fall flat and not rise as God intends. If you ask me about my journey of being a person with a disability, I will tell you that it's not always been easy. However, I am going farther emotionally, spiritually, physically than I ever thought possible. We've already celebrated together how courage to face my fears and keep pushing forward has led me to some of the most amazing experiences and into the fulfillment of my wildest dreams. As a result of keeping prayer as that key ingredient in my life, God has been increasingly using my story of hope and courage to create a large ripple effect. And that reach has resulted in being able to influence and impact people from all over the world. And with the global digital communication exploding, that has definitely facilitated increased influence. Back in 2014, I was invited by a friend to attend Western Canada Fashion Week here in Edmonton, Alberta. Ironically, it was the same girl who would tell me 3 years later about the Miss Wheelchair Canada pageant. To close out every show at Fashion Week event, the MC called upon the audience for volunteers to do their best runway walk. The reward was that they would win some free product. When I first heard that announcement, my heart started pounding. I really wanted to go, but thought, I can't do that. Can I? I'm in a wheelchair. I'll probably look funny up there. When no one else jumped up at the first call, I thought, maybe I would have a chance since no one else had volunteered. So when the second call was given, I quickly raised my hand and I said, I will. The MC looked at me, her eyes and mouth wide open in surprise, said, "You can do that?" "I sure can," was my bold response. Without hesitation, two of my friends lifted me onto the runway and I just went for it. I was fully committed to the experience and held nothing back. I thought, if I've learned anything at all from Tyra Banks on America's Top Model, it was to smile from H to T. And for those who don't know what that means, it's smile from head to toe. So smiling with my whole body down the runway, I went, making eye contact with everyone. The cheering crowds along the way gave me such a boost of confidence. I even did a little twirl in the middle of the runway in my wheelchair. And if you want this video, you'll find it on my YouTube channel by searching for Vian King, Western Canada Fashion Week. Then, reaching the end of the runway, I gave my best "look at me, I'm beautiful" pose. Seeing the crowd and the flashing cameras, I thought, wow, this is all for me? But you want to know the best part? While I was definitely shining on that raised platform, the brightest moment was what happened after my catwalk experience. When I got down off that runway, my friend who was with me, who was also recently paralyzed and also in a wheelchair, she said, "Vian, last night when I was here, the MC made the same request to the audience." And she pointed to me. Not knowing I was in a chair, she said, "What about you?" Feeling so embarrassed, I hung my head in front of everyone and said, "I can't. I'm in a wheelchair." So when you got up there tonight on that runway without a second thought, I said, wow, look at her go. I wish I had her confidence. And do you want to know another amazing dimension to this whole story? The same girl who said, "I wish I had your confidence," is my beautiful friend, Bean Gill. She was the same girl I had the privilege of passing the crown to in 2018. 4 years after saying that she didn't have the confidence to rise and shine. What an incredible shared moment as Bean was crowned the second Miss Wheelchair Canada. But she is also now runs her own rehabilitation facility right here in Edmonton with her co-founder, Nancy Morrow. You see, Bean's determination for her overall health and fitness is something that God uses even today to challenge me and encourage me to be better and to keep trying. Even as I worked on the chapter that I'm talking about now, I saw her make a post and an amazing workout video. Oh, it was just remarkable. She was showing how she was doing squats without holding on to the bars. That video actually motivated me to get up and start exercising right then and there. Stop whatever I was doing and just got up. When you see that your courage has the power to inspire others to choose courage, then that becomes a whole new way to live. Now her courage is also inspiring me, and I'm actually now training at their gym. As a teenager, I would always repeat the phrase, "Keep God in the center of everything and everything will come together." That meant talking to God daily, ensuring that I keep Him in the center. That is the one key element that enables me to walk by faith when I can't see, and to be obedient to God over the fear of man or my own insecurities. It's the ingredient that keeps me disciplined to keep going and not to fall flat on my face. I know there's no perfect recipe for how to handle all that life throws at you, but I have taken you back through my journey to show you that process, and I trust that it will help you find the strength to begin or continue in yours. Have you ever seen a turtle on a fence post? If you did, wouldn't your first response be, how did that turtle get up there? There's only one way it could have gotten there, right? With help. So when you see me elevated on any platform, whether it's a runway, a pageant stage, a school gymnasium, TV, or any media outlet, just know I didn't get there on my own. I have learned to surrender to the one who enables me to rise and shine. To know that it's God who has elevated me to be a blessing is the biggest blessing I could ever ask for. Allow me to remind you about those important instructions from my dream. First, it was, don't let anything distract you from focusing on the task at hand. Prayer is the priority. And while it's great to embrace the inspiration of others, the key ingredient for me to rise above or rise and shine truly is prayer. And when you can embrace the key ingredient of prayer in your life, get ready, because the flame from your elevated platform will indeed be contagious and have the power to ignite hope in the hearts of others around you. And my prayer is that you too will embrace the key ingredient of prayer in your life and experience what it means to rise and shine.